Greetings, Patriots. Welcome back to the Albert Plan YouTube channel. I'm Dan Albert, and I'd like to talk to you about what's called the Transition Integrity Project. Barack Obama and Eric Holder have been busy in the background trying to tinker with our election integrity and to further their objectives by setting our country up for massive election fraud. And there's a kind of a war game scenario where they got a group of supposedly bipartisan people together to kind of war game the aftermath of an election, which they are purposefully creating chaos and confusion over in the 2020 election. So they've gone to that trouble of going through exercises where they all come out with Joe Biden winning the election. And for the last 4 years, Democrats have tried to weave a scenario, a narrative that would create the plausibility that President Trump could lose the election. That's all they've tried to do with the impeachment and other things they've done is try to create that plausibility. Because the way I see it, the only way that Trump could lose to Biden is through election fraud. So the Democrats and their globalist puppet masters they've come up with this transition integrity project. But what about the transition from the Obama-Biden administration to Trump-Pence? How much integrity did that transition have? Zero integrity. There was a massive effort to undermine the transition. So that's one thing that's rather hypocritical about them now advocating for transition integrity. But more basic than that is, well, what about election integrity? What about election integrity project? Why not have a bipartisan effort to look at every way that we could implement a restoration of our election integrity? I've made specific proposals, and Democrats obviously will not engage in that process because they thrive on the lack of election integrity. They want to have confusion. They want to muddy the water. I don't know if you've noticed that Democrats are always late in reporting results in certain Democrat districts. How difficult can it be really to count the votes? So they make it difficult and confusing, and they capitalize on the problems they create in order to find any way they can to sway the results of an election. President Trump won in 2016, I believe, because Democrats were unprepared to make up the magnitude of difference in votes in certain states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. That quote unquote blue wall that was breached by the Trump campaign. Otherwise, we would have had Hillary Clinton as president. So when they were counting votes, they probably realized they just couldn't make up the difference. So how about a little election integrity project instead of the transition integrity project that Democrats have been wargaming? It's a serious matter, folks. They are undermining our election integrity. They are banking on winning this election, and not just the presidency, but up and down the ballot. They are trying to convert every possible congressional district from Republican to Democrat. I don't believe that there are certain races in the past few election cycles that I firmly believe were won by fraud. And if we just restore election integrity, then there won't be a need to talk about a transition integrity project, because if we have that integrity that we lack right now, there won't be an argument. Right now, Democrats think that Republicans are going to steal the election, and Republicans think that Democrats will steal the election. And we're being set up for great division over this election. And shame on the Democrats, shame on anybody involved with this transition integrity project. And there are others that have fleshed out the details of that. Steve Bannon and Raheem Kassam have spoken quite extensively about this project, particularly Raheem Kassam. And we have to put a stop to this kind of election meddling that we see. So inform yourself and become aware of what the tactics and methods of the Democrats are, so that you can do your part and we can all together combine our efforts to restore election integrity. Otherwise, our nation is toast. Thank you for your time and all that you do for the liberty movement, and may God bless you and your efforts, and may God bless America.